if our website gets big enough, we may choose to continue to use a proxy, but we may do something like, say, this server deals with one type of traffic, where this server deals with another type of traffic, and this server deals with a third type of traffic, and maybe have dedicated information in each of them. So if you think of a big service like Google, this could be, for instance, Google Maps, and this could be Google Search, and this could be Google Mail, and they have their own dedicated server. The cool thing about this is that you could be running inside of here and another proxy, a reverse proxy, just like this is, where you've got multiple servers in here that this is going to route to its particular one. So that your initial request comes in and says, oh, that's a request for Google Maps. I'm going to route to here. And the proxy says, oh, I've got a bunch of requests. I'm going to route it to this internal server. So this idea of a reverse proxy can be hierarchical if need be for very large websites. Another thing that we can do to be able to handle very large systems is we can have a server that I'm going to put down here that runs and that handles, I don't know, pre-computed data. So all your, or we'd probably call that static files. So anything that's not changing, we can just route those requests directly to this server, and we want to have as much pre-computed content as possible. That's a little bit hard if we want to have a dynamic website that's customized to the people who are accessing it and has interesting things for them and responds to the information that they're requesting and stuff. But a similar idea to having pre-computed or static information is having a separate or a shared machine that is a cache. So what happens here is, let's pick orange here. When a request comes back from the server and it's done all its computation and it goes to the proxy here, we're going to store a copy of that result to the cache, as well as sending the response back to the person who is using it. And the nice thing is if some future request comes in, we can check with the cache and say, hey, have I seen that before? And if the answer is yes, we don't have to go to any of these servers. We can just pull that data back out of the cache and respond to it. Now, the trick with caching is to get in the situation that works, where we already said that pre-computing a web page that's static is going to be difficult. Caching an entire web page is also going to be difficult if we have information that is personalized and is in response to what that user has done in the past or is trying to do. But if we can cache rather than whole parts of our page, if we can cache portions of our page and return those portions in our cache and combine it with the customized for our user, then these servers right here have less computation to do. They can say, grab me that already cached part, and I'll just add in this little bit here that customizes it to the user, this header or this username or something like that. And if we can do that well, then this cache will be very, very beneficial. But if we try to cache an entire web page, this cache is not going to be much more useful than this pre-computed static information here. That is not to say that it's not going to be useless. I mean, there are some very clear things like well, let's put this in black here. Our JavaScript files, we don't tend to recompute those for our entire website, or even our cascading style sheets. Those oftentimes can be pre-computed, and so this is kind of a special version of a cache in a certain sense. The difference here is the cache is documents that were dynamically generated. This is documents that are relatively non-changing compared to the requests that are coming in. So this is not useless, and this is not useless if we do whole page caching, but we'll see a greater benefit from our cache if we can somehow grab the key components that are going to be used over and over and over again from our various requests. And the cache doesn't have to live up just up here as well, right? We could have another cache right here for this proxy. We could have a cache for here and a cache for here. Although you start to lose a little bit of benefit if you throw caches everywhere. But if you put them in strategic places, you can greatly increase the number of requests that you're going to respond to, because any one response is going to take less time from the server than before, because it can just grab big pieces of it from the cache and then compute a little bit of the additional information before it returns back to the client who made that request.